I have to tell you that I'm very tempted to say, well, that's a sermon, my job's done. And honestly, it almost is. Because tonight, the gospel has already been preached. The shepherds, they remembered all of their sheep. The angels ran in 2 different flocks, and it was wonderful. And the children bravely stood up here in front of all of these scary adults. And they did so because they wanted to do something holy and joyful and imperfect and real. And that, in itself, tells us something true about how God comes. So Luke's story begins in a place that is that's easy to miss if we rush past it. In those days, a decree went out from Emperor Augustus. Before angels, before shepherds, before the baby, empire, census, movement, and displacement. The story of our children told tonight does not begin in a nursery. It begins in a system that moves people around without their permission. That's not commentary. That's just Luke being honest. And yet, this is the miracle. This is the world God chooses to enter. All through Advent, we prepared our hearts for God to dwell within us. We waited. We watched. We listened to stories centered on women in the text. And we made room. Tonight, Christmas tells us that God refuses to stay contained there. God does not wait for the world to become safe before arriving. God does not wait for stability or peace or agreements. Christ comes anyway. Many of us arrive here tonight carrying a little bit more than joy. We carry worry about the world our children are inheriting. We live in a time when fear speaks loudly, when worship preparations include ice preparedness planning, when compassion feels fragile. Luke's world knew that feeling far too well. Occupied, anxious, and watched closely. Governed by forces beyond ordinary people's control. And into that world, God sends us not an army, not a decree, and not even a solution. God sends a child. You see, the Holy Family, this Holy Family, is not a metaphor we use to make a point. They are a revelation of where God chooses to be. This Holy Family is solid wood and was made for us at St. Andrew's from our brothers and sisters in Eswatini, in the middle of South Africa, for all of you who are having problems figuring out where Eswatini is at the moment. So we have this young couple, moved by an imperial order, housed temporarily, dependent on hospitality, and vulnerable. They're exhausted, but they're faithful. And God entrusts the salvation of the world to a family like that. And then shepherds go and see. Mary treasures and ponders. Angels sing, and the child simply is. No one fixes the empire. No one solves injustices overnight. And no one makes everything just right. But the light enters the darkness anyway. The light of Christ brings, that Christ brings does not deny the darkness. It chooses to dwell within it. And that matters, especially now. Because Christmas does not ask us to be saviors of the world. It asks us to be witnesses to the one who has already entered it. Witnesses who notice. Witnesses who make room. Witnesses who tell the truth with love. Mary and Joseph, they carried that child. And they carried that child knowing that witnesses like you and me will carry another way. If God chose to arrive this way, small, vulnerable, and entrusted to human care, then the way we carry one another really does matter. The way we welcome matters. The way we refuse both denial and despair matters. And tonight, we rejoice, not because the world is healed, but because God has come to dwell within it. And that, astonishingly, quietly, joyfully, is enough light to begin. Merry Christmas, St. Andrews.